Let's talk about time and the power of time and the power of now. I'm Axonoid and welcome to podcast 7. So, this podcast is about, I want to share some thoughts with you that I have about this book that I read recently. It's called The Power of Now. You see it on the screens right now. It's by Eckhart Tolle or whatever. I can't pronounce his name right. And the book has some very interesting ideas. Contains some very interesting ideas. The first of which, you are not your mind. I will never forget that. It's life changing. This book is life changing. I really recommend it. Really recommend you to read it. The next idea is there is no past, no future. It's all an illusion of our minds, of our false self, aka ego. There's only present, now. That's why the book is called The Power of Now. And the idea is, if you are present, which means being here and now, literally, you have greater control on yourself and you can enjoy each and every moment. You find the peace within the silence. But before that, you must find the silence inside the noise. It's kind of really paradoxic sometimes, but this book is really great for anyone. It's a must read, of course. And one of the things that are really hard to accept, at least for me personally, is the idea of the idea of no past, no future, because the past is dead memories. It only brings grief, regret, and pain. The thing here, what the author talks about, is how pain exists only within reach of time. If you remove time from the whole equation, and you are here, now, in this very moment, this very present moment, there is no pain. There is no suffering. You are free from that. You free yourself from all the suffering and everything. And the next point is about future. The future is, it's imagination, it's false beliefs, and it's false hope for something better, something worse. If it's something worse, it gives you fear. And that's how what fear is built with, and yeah, that's what fear is. It's false. Um, I don't know how to say, like false idea of what comes next. And of course, if you have positive idea, positive hope, you have hope. you are you have hope and you have faith in life that something good is gonna happen to you. When in fact there is no past, at least that's what the book says, and there is no future. I mean, it's completely loco, it's crazy at first, but you need to. I'm not saying you need to accept all that the book has to offer, that the book says, but there are really good stuff out there, in the book, and it's really life changing because it changes your whole perspective on things. When I first started reading the book, I thought it's about like a lessons how to be present and being here and now. I never thought that it would be something like this, and that something full of such. It's actually spiritual stuff. It's really spiritual because this book is more of a spiritual one than mental. Because you are not your mind, if you remember. And the author says that you cannot uh, you cannot, I don't know, like accept, assume, yeah, you can't assume it with your mind. You have to embrace it, you have to feel it. That's why I recommend you to read a book if you're really interested in it. But don't listen, but do not take my words for something more than just words and a personal opinion, because that's all it is. It is my personal opinion of the book. And I think it's a really, really good book. Like, okay, This seems like a review of the book, but no. I want to talk about the idea of time. We put aside the idea of the thing with pain and being present in now. Like, just we take the whole stuff about time, how time does not exist. Like, it's not real. It's all in our mind because our minds create it. But actually, that's really true when you think about it. We humans created time because we needed more to be more organized, right? We have a clock, and the clock is how we organize our days, how we plan our days. Because without time, we're not gonna be able to make a plan for tomorrow and for 5 years from now. It's actually really important to have a plan for 5 years from now. Just saying, and you need time to remember dates, you know which thing is when it's gonna happen, and when you have to meet a person and when you have to go somewhere. Time is a useful tool, but that's all. Time is a tool for which our brains use it, which we use to make our life easier. Without time, we're not gonna be able to organize our lives so easily, and we're gonna flow like live with the flow of, and we're not gonna get anywhere. We need time. We need to use time right, and we need to manage time. Managing time is really important. But let's not talk about managing time now. Let's talk about past first. Like, I'll first talk about past, then future. So the past is everything that has happened to you, and the idea is if you identify yourself. I don't know if identify is the right word to use, but if you use time to make up this whole concept of who you are, you're screwed because that's not you. Everything that was. It's no longer alive. It's no longer real. It's just a memory. And the memories are memories. There are good memories, bad memories. Memories you should let go of. Memories you better remember. Like, it's a good to remember, and sometimes to just think about it and be happy that you had those moments and make those memories. Like, the best memories happen when there's something unpredictable. The best moments are unpredictable, but memories are like pictures of what was, was. Like, the time here, everything that's before this very moment is dead. Its past is dead. The past is dead. I think, like, remember this. It's really like important to have this at least kind of idea of everything that has ever happened to you doesn't matter. Everything that people done to you, ever done to you, does not matter. It's dead. It's not real. It's not here anymore. It's not in this present moment, so you should let it go. That's the idea of the book. It's no longer part of you. It's not you, and it never was and never will be. Just like future. Imagine you're having this daydreaming. I actually have this problem right now. Like, I get lost in my thoughts. My thoughts are racing, or I daydream a lot. And I'm trying to focus like on fixing that. I meditate every day to fix that. At least I'm trying, because meditation for me is really boring. Even with binaural beats, it's really boring, man. Like, I can't, like, oh, no. This is not for me. I like it, but doing it once a week. I can't do it for more than 3 days a week. I just get so bored. Like, 10 minutes sitting and doing nothing. The thing here is that with meditation, you have to focus on something. If I was just sitting and doing nothing, it's okay. I probably get depressed because I need to do something, which is bad, because if I can enjoy each moment, then I'm screwed. But anyways, so the future is imaginations, is daydreaming, is fantasies that you play over and over in your mind, and if they're like negative, you get really big, like, sense of fear. And you're afraid. But if they are good, like they dream about something good, like, I don't know if it's a really good example, but if you think of something sexual happening to you, you're gonna get horny. I mean, you're gonna get, an erection or something like that. You're gonna get horny. Because the other idea of this book is your emotions are reactions to your are reactions of your body to your mind. That's why when you daydream, you start identifying yourself with your thoughts, and your body reacts to that. That's why when you think about something sexual, you get horny. You get in the sexual vibe, but then you come back to the present and you see there is nothing sexual about it, and you're like, oh fuck, that was so beautiful in my head, but now it's not. It's not real, and you get, you know, a negative emotion. Actually, there's something else that I want to share with you. Like, it's it's something from the book that I thought about. You should never identify yourself with an emotion. You should never say like think stuff of I'm angry. You're not. You're just feeling an emotion of anger. That's a whole different thing. The first is you are, which you are not angry. No, you're just an energy, man. You're energy. That's all you are. You're feeling an emotion. You are you. You are feeling an emotion. You feel sense of fear. You feel fear, but you are not fear. You are not afraid. You feel fear because you can put fear aside, and you cannot just put something you are aside. Like, let's say I'm a human. You can put that aside. It can feel like it can be like I feel, or I am being a human, which actually sounds good, but I feel a human. That's a whole different thing. But an emotion, don't just try to not put yourself, like, call yourself such things like I am angry. You're not angry. You're feeling anger. That's different. You're not identifying with the emotion. You're just you, and you're feeling anger. It's okay. It's normal. Everybody feels anger sometimes, especially me. And yeah, I think I covered most of the stuff I wanted to cover. I'll just check the plan for this podcast to see if there's something more to say. Yeah. If you drop time, you let it go. The pain sets you free. That's very important to know, because the book says it all. Like, I suggest you read it. I encourage you to read this book in the next 30 days, or at least in the next year. Until the end of 2019, you should read this book. It's a really life-changing book. If you haven't read it, yeah, you have to read it, like, from my personal perspective. Okay, thanks for listening to this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next time, I'm Axel Noid, and goodbye for now, amigos.